Question is, bottom line is, what happens after the husband and the wife leave this world? Do they both go to the same olam haba or no? Bottom line, right? So Stipler Gaon told somebody, I came to him and asked him about a shidduch for his daughter. And he told him that this guy's a nice guy, but he doesn't learn Torah. So Stipler Gaon says, no, your daughter should not marry this guy. Even though he's a nice guy, you should not marry him. Why? Because your daughter is a tzadikah. This guy's not learning Torah, so they're definitely not going to be together in olam haba. Not going to be together in olam haba. Why? Because every person goes to his place based on his merits. If the wife does the job that she's supposed to in this world, that means that she's not only going to be a arm candy for her wife, for her husband. She's not only going to be a baby oven. What is she going to be? She's also going to raise a house of Torah. The kids are going to go to yeshiva. The daughters are going to go to Beit Yaakov. The husband is going to go learn Torah. Even if he works, he's going to go to Shiur Torah. Every day he's going to learn Torah. Every day. Why? It's important for the husband to learn Torah for the wife, not just for the husband. For the wife. Every day she has to make sure the husband learns Torah. In the morning a little bit, at night a little bit more when possible. That is the responsibility of a woman. What Gemara says, that's what a woman goes to Gan Eden for. By raising a house of Torah and sending her husband to go learn Torah. That's what she goes. Now if the wife tries to send her husband, but her husband's a deadbeat, doesn't want to go, doesn't want to learn, doesn't want to do nothing, he wants to go watch soccer games. And she's a tzadikah. And she tried everything. She tried to convince him with food. She tried to convince him with all types of wonderful love. And she tried to convince him with gifts. And she tried to convince him year after year. And she cried to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, day and night. Day and night, please Hashem, open his eyes, let him watch the Shiur Torah. Let him read the Chumash. Let him go to the Shiur. Let him do, please Hashem, I'm trying. I tried making him his food. I tried all types of things. All types of things, he's not doing it. He's a mamash a chamor, this guy. He does not want to learn. I tried everything. Hashem, please soften his heart. He's like Paro. It's like Paro. I didn't know that I married Paro when I married him. I didn't know. And she cries to Hashem. Hashem will help her. Hashem will help her. But even if after that he remains Paro, and she's a tzadikah, surely they're not going to be in the same Gan Eden. Why? He's not going to Gan Eden. He's not going to Gan Eden. So surely they're not going to go to the same place. Now, the Rogatchover Rebbe was such a gaon, such a giant in Torah. It's hard to fathom. In order to talk to him, to simply speak to him, you had to be a Talmid Chacham. To understand. He was an enormous Talmid Chacham, a Chabadnik. And he was very, very aggressive with Talmidei Chachamim. If some Talmid Chacham would come, ask a question that's off, or make a comment that's off, he'd tear him up. Tear him up. The people would cry. Hamash. One time, this rabbi, who was not exactly a very likable person, was going to visit. And I said, you're going to go see the Rogatchover Rebbe? He didn't really want to. But how can you go to the town with the Rogatchover Rebbe? The Gedol Hador is there and you're not going to go see him. Might as well not go. It's embarrassing. So he said, how am I going to go see? He's going to tear me up. It's what was well known, that the Rogatchover Rebbe was Kodesh Kodeshim, but he was fire, from much fire. Anyway, he says, okay, I'm going to take a chance. This rabbi wrote a book or two. I'll hold my own. Came, got to the Rogatchover Rebbe's house. He welcomed him very nicely, spoke to him really, really nicely, gave him a drink, this, that. Nothing, regular conversation. Really nice to him, actually. So at the end of the meeting, he said, oh, thank you, Kvod Harav. Appreciate it. But just one thing, Kvod Harav. It's just, I don't know, people said that the Rav is very aggressive and, when it comes to dealing with Talmidei Chachamim. But Baruch Hashem, the Rav was very nice to me. He says, yeah, I'm only like that with Talmidei Chachamim. Meaning what? You're not Talmid Chacham. Not Talmid Chacham. I'll be nice. I'll be like you're a regular person. I talk to you like a regular person. Talmidei Chacham, I have to be critical of him. Why? It's fire. Fire, to keep him up, to keep him sharp. Now this Kodesh Kodeshim, one day, he says to his students, I know I'm only going to go to Gan Eden because of my wife, my Rabbanit. Gadol Hador says, only because your wife. Well, what does your wife do? He says, see, my wife, tzadika. All day she does chesed, she does mitzvot, all day. She's going to go up to Shamayim. She's going to go up to Shamayim. She's going to say, I'll go to Gan Eden. I'm going to go to Gan Eden. Okay. Then one day, she says, I'm also going to go. Before, afterward. And my wife is going to say, okay, where's my husband? No, your husband is, you didn't know. No, boy, I sent him to go learn Torah. I said, yeah, but he made mistakes. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So why? We're going to send this guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. He's talking about himself. I'm going to send this guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, he learned Torah for all these years. Yeah, but he made mistakes. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not going. No, we can't. My wife's going to start crying. She says, what do you mean? I sent him to go learn Torah. I sent him to go learn Torah. And it's not my fault he doesn't know what he's talking about. I said, you told me to put him to go learn Torah, right? I said, yes. And Sharon said, yes. Okay, so bring him to Gan Eden. But why would we bring him? Because I'm in Gan Eden. I'm lonely. I need my husband. So I'm going to Gan Eden because of my wife. But that's the love. That's the love. That's the love between a Jewish couple. So the Chachamim tell us in some of the mystical books, which I learned with my Rav, a few things, that the Imaot, the matriarchs, they have a Gan Eden, and the Avot have Gan Eden. And they visit each other. They have a time during the day that they visit each other. Sarah Imenu visits Avraham Avinu, the Leah, Rachel, Rivka, they visit their husbands. Meaning they're not together all day having a drink on the beach. The husband learning Torah, doing whatever it is that you do in Olam Haba, and the women also. Women also. So yes, if the wife and the husband are in the same level, which in essence means that they both elevated each other, you will be able to see each other eternally. But if one is a Rasha and the other one's a Tzaddik or Tzaddikah, and so on and so forth, surely they will not be together, simply because, again, it's not like the story of the Rogatchover Rebbe to express his love for his wife. In reality, if he wasn't a tzaddik, he wouldn't be in Gan Eden, even if his wife is a tzaddikah. Everybody has to get to Gan Eden on their own merit. A wife has to make sure that a husband learns Torah. Obviously, she herself also has to learn, because she has to maintain a Jewish household. She has to learn Halachot Shabbat. She has to learn Musar. She has to learn the Kashrut laws, Tarat Mishpacha. There's a lot of stuff that a woman needs to know herself. And she should also go to a Shiur Torah, and she should also learn on a regular basis. But the bigger obligation for more halachot is on the husband. And if a wife does not cry to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for her husband and kids to learn Torah, she did not fulfill her mission in this world. No, but I read Tehillim every day. Don't read Tehillim. Just send them to yeshiva. Don't read a single book of Tehillim your whole life. Just make sure they go to Shiur Torah. Why? Tehillim is good, but not if that's at the cost of your kids are all chilonim. Like sometimes women have a warped idea of what their obligation in the world is. They think that if they hang out with their girlfriends, read Tehillim all day, that makes them righteous. If your husband and kids are not serious about learning Torah, you have a serious problem. You have a very serious problem. And the problem is that many times women say, yeah, but I tried. You didn't want to do it. When did you try? I don't know. I tried for a couple of years. I gave up. Oh, okay. So you didn't try then. If you tried, that means you tried yesterday and today. And you're going to try tomorrow. And you're never going to give up. But there's different ways to try. It's not to be misunderstood. Sometimes I have people call me ask me for different shlom bayit issues and things like that. And many times people think that I'm more harsh on the guys. More harsh on the guys about how their manners are terrible and so on. Many people think that. And they're right. I am. It's true. I am more harsh on the guys. Why? Because more times than not, guys act like animals. But it doesn't mean that the women are all malachim. Many times, the guys act certain ways because the women don't know how to treat them. Now, if a guy, if a man, if a husband, if a Jew is going to be a good husband, he has to learn Torah. If a woman is going to be a good wife, she also has to learn Torah, and she has to convince him to learn Torah. The problem is that sometimes we think that we are good enough by ourselves and everybody else is nothing. And what ends up happening is that you have women that they go to a shiur Torah, they read Tehillim with their girlfriends, they speak divrei Torah among each other, and become little rebbitzins among each other. And their husbands, they care less what they do. And they disrespect their husbands in such an awful way, thinking that it's okay. Now, if you disrespect your husband and you don't make sure that your husband is a king in your house, for sure you're not a queen. If you treat your husband like he's some janitor, if you disrespect him like he's a nobody, if you make fun of your husband by calling him a loser, for sure you're going to Gehinnom. Why? Because Isha bona, Isha oreset. A woman builds, a woman destroys. If you do not build your husband to make sure he wants to learn Torah, he wants to do mitzvot, he wants to do everything possible to make sure that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy, even if it's just to please you. If you don't get him to that, you have failed miserably in this world. What? You think that maybe because you make some YouTube videos for your girlfriends to watch, you think because you walk around modest, you think because you read the parasha, you think that because you know a few things about Torah, that gets you Gan Eden? No, that you're not going to find a single place in the Torah that says that. There's not a single place in the Torah that says that a woman that gives shiurei Torah, or a woman that knows Torah, or a woman that reads Tehillim every day is going to Gan Eden. Not a single place. You know what it says? You have to get your husband to go learn Torah. How do you get him? Why? Do you think if you call him a loser, he's going to go learn Torah? You think if you tell him, listen, you don't learn, no food. Stay outside. Sleep on a bench with the homeless people. You think that's going to get him to go learn Torah? Think it's going to build your husband? Best case scenario will be a loser. At the best case scenario. Why? A husband, as macho as he is, needs the support of his wife. He needs to feel like he's the best in her eyes. Same thing with the woman. Woman needs to feel like she's the most beautiful in her husband's eyes. If the husband looks at other women, automatically that makes the wife feel ugly. Why? Why is he looking at other women if I'm pretty? So if he's looking at other women, whether it be internet or in real life or whatever, if he's looking at other women, then obviously I'm not pretty enough for him. So maybe I should be more provocative, or maybe I should look like one of these parot, one of these cows that walks around with no clothes, or maybe I should act like... She starts thinking she's self-conscious. Why? He's not looking at me. He's not paying me attention. He's not telling me how much he loves me. Surely, so that means that he doesn't think I'm pretty. He doesn't think of this. So she loses her confidence based on the attention her husband gets. But it's not a one-way street, ladies. It's not a one-way street. The husband, if the wife does not make him feel like a king, as soon as he gets into the house, there is no, 1 second, honey, I'm finishing a phone call. That doesn't exist in a Jewish house. It doesn't exist. As soon as you hear your husband that learned yesterday's shiur that knows he has to knock on his own house door, hang up. Hang up. No, honey, I'll be with you in a second. Nothing like that. The second your husband arrives in the house, you have to stop everything you're doing, go say hello. Oh, but I'm relaxing on the couch. Get up, the king arrived. Bemet, that's what halakha is. You have to get up when the husband came home. You have to get up. Why? He's the king. Well, how come he doesn't treat me like a queen? Because you didn't make him a king. You treated him like he's some bus driver. You treat him like he's some teacher. You treat him like he's some, whatever his profession is, not as a king. So, obviously, you cannot be a queen if he's not a king. The second he arrives home, you have to stop what you're doing, go welcome your husband. Yeah, but I'm tired. Okay, so become untired. Become untired. Just like when your girlfriend shows up, and you were tired, but as soon as your girlfriend shows up, all of a sudden you have energy. All of a sudden you have energy to talk for 4 hours straight about everything that happened in the last 3 hours since you last talked to her. All of a sudden you have energy. Before she came, you had the sponge on your head. Oh, I'm dying, honey. I'm dying. I'm dying. I need to rest. I'm dying. The second your girlfriend came out, she came out. Oh, what are you doing? 4 hours speech. 4 hours. You just spoke to her 3 hours ago. How do you have 4 hours of material? 4 hours haven't passed since the last you spoke to her. 4 hours, you have energy all of a sudden. 3 hours ago, you were almost dying. But she showed up to your house. Surprise, surprise, surprise. All of a sudden, you have an energy. No, why you tell her to go? No, I'm okay, I'm okay. I thought you were dying, honey. I was going to call 911. No, I'm okay. You're extreme. Well, you just told me to call 911. No. All of a sudden you have energy. Your husband arrived, you have to have the most amount of energy in the world. Meaning, you have to look pretty. Do not welcome your husband with a sponge on your head, looking like you just came from Tisha B'Av. You came from some funeral. Makeup's over here, and there. It looks like you're some cartoon. You have to look pretty when you're... Yeah, but he comes home late. It's 10 o'clock at night. Okay, so be ready at 10 o'clock at night. Why? That's your job. The king arrived. The king arrived. You want to be a queen? You have to have a king. There's no queen by herself unless it's in England. 500 years, she's a queen. No husband. Shtabach Shimo. Woman is older than some religions in the world. Where's the husband? So, king arrived, you have to look pretty. You have to get ready. Guess what? He has to have food too. Oh, but I'm tired. Okay, so you should have been untired and made him food. Okay, honey, I'll make him what he likes. Why? He went to learn Torah. He went to learn Torah. Make him what he likes. If your husband is picky, when it comes to food, make him what he likes. Don't tell him, here's some potato chips. Laila Tov. If your husband's picky, you want him to become a Talmid Chacham, feed him. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to make him a 3-course meal every night, but he has to be happy. He has to feel that when he comes home, he's welcome there. Never use such language like, oh, you're here? What do you mean, oh, I live here? What do you mean, oh, I'm here? Where do you want me to be? Oh, no, I thought you were working. Are you implying that I should go back to work? I could just live at work if you want. Maybe you'll pay the mortgage. You have to be excited. You have to be excited to see your husband. Why? He's the king. The king arrived. Now, if you're half asleep, Maker's over here, you only look good when you go to the supermarket for Jose. Guess what? Your husband's not going to be happy. So he's going to say, listen, I'm learning Torah, but no one cares. When I made money, she cared. Why? I bought her a nice diamond bracelet, she cared. But when I got a chidush, she didn't care. In fact, she told me I don't even like it. Guess what? You just destroyed his entire ego, his entire confidence system. You didn't like his story about Moshe Rabbeinu. You didn't like his story about Rabbi Akiva. You said, no, the rabbi says it better. Guess what? You just destroyed him. You are going to be judged in Shemaim as a murderer. Why? Your husband gave you a story. You didn't like it, you had to pretend you like it. Just like he sometimes pretends to like your food, you have to pretend to like his story. Why? Isha bona, isha oreset. Just like you don't like when he compares you to his mother, don't compare him to the rabbi. Like his stories, cheer him up. Honey, you're really getting better at this. Wow, I love this. Pretend. Pretend. Why? You have to build him. One of the Gdolei Ador, Rabotai Karim, when he was still a nar, young guy, 20 years old, just got married. Already at 20 years old, no one knew who he was. His wife would call him Gdol Ador. One of the Avrechim at his college, young guy, came, knocked at the house. Yes? Oh, I want to see, he said his name. Who? Called him by his first name. Who you want to see? Nobody like that. No, what? This is not the house of a... You mean the Gdol Ador? You dare call the Gdol Ador by his first name? The guy got shot. He's never... Mamash made the guy red, his whole face became red. Why? How do you call him the Gdol Ador? One time another guy came to the house. And the Rav said, come here. And she saw that the guy is taking his time. She yelled at him. The Gdol Ador is telling you to stand up. You're still sitting. You know what happened to him? He became the Gdol Ador. He became the biggest rabbi in the world. You know why? His wife built him up. But if your wife tells you you're a loser, at the best case scenario, you become a loser. If your wife insults you, tells you you're nothing, I should have married somebody else, guess what? He wishes you did too. At the best case scenario, you'll be a loser. So this is why, Rabotai, Musar is for everyone. Not just for the husbands. Not just for the wives. For everyone. For your kids too. For your kids too. It is more common that men do certain things that are worse than what women do, but nonetheless, unfortunately today, people in general do not know how to treat each other. They don't know how to treat each other, they don't know how to respect each other, and then they complain that they don't want to be with each other. Oh, he doesn't want to be with me anymore. Yeah, who would? Who would want to be with you? I'm surprised he even said that, oh, I do in the first case. All you do is insult. You never want to do anything good. Everything is for you, you. You're the most selfish person on planet Earth. So he's doing you a favor. He's leaving you alone so he can be with you. Marry yourself. This is a common problem. Because everyone is looking for themselves. You want to be married successfully? You have to do everything possible for the other side, with nothing expected in return. Do everything possible to make her happy. You do everything possible to make him happy. If all of your attention is only focused on making each other happy, guess what? You'll both be happy. But if you're only going to work off of the barter system, which is, I'm going to do this for you, if you do this for me, guess what? You're both going to be miserable. Why? Who goes first? I'll do it after you do it. I'll do it after you do it. And guess what? Nobody does anything. Everybody stays miserable. You sit in the same house and you're roommates, not soulmates. Roommates. Yeah, I live with this lady. You mean your wife? Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that one. She cooks once in a while. Yeah, that one. The chef. The cleaning lady. And she tells her girlfriend, yeah, the plumber. You mean your husband? Yeah, whatever. The guy that unplugs the toilet whenever it gets flooded. Yeah, that guy. He's there. Yeah. That's what happens. Why? No love. It's roommates. You have to be soulmates. You have to love each other. But that means you have to remove yourself. I don't want anything in return. I just want to make you happy. What happens if you're doing everything possible to make her happy and she's not making you happy? Keep going. Kill them with kindness. Keep doing your job. Don't worry about their job. Focus on making them happy. B'ezrat Hashem. It'll be reciprocated, or at the worst case scenario, you'll just have a lot of kaparat avinot. You go to Gan Eden just for that. But that's a very important question today, because simply you have people getting married, but they don't know how to stay married. Because there's virtually no courses for how to remain married. There's consultants that charge you $300-400 a month just to hear you complain. You have to know what to do. Those consultants are not going to help you. You can help you. You can help you by listening to the Torah.